Welcome people, welcome back to the Zidane Matthew Show. Remember, hit that subscribe button and like the video. Yeah man, share the content. Share the content so you can educate people in terms of how they think and reason and be logical people. Alright, today we are going to talk quickly, briefly about, it won't be long because it's so straightforward, about the matter involving the hosting of games involving St. Elizabeth Technical at their wonderful schoolboy football field. This is in the context of schoolboy football now. Premier League games even played there. It's a good surface, good stadium in comparison to a lot of school fields in Jamaica. And I think that's why ISA like to utilize the venue. You know? Good. So, the principal of Manchester High is accusing ISA of being biased towards Stets because St. Elizabeth Technical did not top their group. They finished second in their group and they played 2 home games in the round of 32 despite not topping their group. So, Mr. Gabriel is saying it is not fair. And maybe it is not fair. As a matter of fact, I am of the opinion that it is not fair. But why was Mr. Gabriel, the principal of Manchester High, not pointing this out to ISA when the fixtures was made up and he was in receipt of it? Mr. Gabriel is somewhat of a part of ISA. ISA is a group of principal. He's a principal for a prominent high school in the Costa Cup. So Mr. Gabriel, were you aware when the schedules were issued that if Manchester comes second and Stets comes second, they would be in the same group, and the games were scheduled for the venue from beforehand? If you were aware, Mr. Gabriel, that the fixtures were set and you saw it and you have no objection, then what you're saying now, Mr. Gabriel, the principal of Manchester, it's not credible. It is not credible. You cannot change rules in the middle of tournament. That is when it will be seen to be biased. That is when it will be clear that it's biased. Not when you set the schedule, everybody accepts it and agrees to it. That's not when it's biased. And listen to me carefully, because I know people sometimes they're hearing but they're not listening. I think it is unfair for a second place team to play 2 games at that stage at home. I think you should find a neutral venue. I think that is fair. But the discussion today is not about what is fair or not. It's about if there's a bias towards Stets, because the principal of Stets is the president of ISA. No, it's not. It's not a bias, because you could have objected and it could have been changed in August when the schedule was issued. Now, if you had objected, if you had an objection to the scheduling for the games to be played, you see that Team A play Team B and this will be the venue, you know it. You could have said, listen, this is Stets playing 2 games in this round at home. I object. Then you would be credible. If they continued with it, if they still went on with it, then your claim would be credible. Now that there's a bias, there's none. There's no bias when you all agreed to the venue, the games being played at the venue. If ISA should have just in the middle, and I hear a talk show host saying that, I heard somebody trying to educate the talk show host telling me that the rule was set in place. You can't change in the middle. Changing in the middle could be seen as corruption. Changing in the middle would then be seen as bias, because you had it set, you all agreed, it doesn't favor somebody, and then it's adjusted. Because if the principal of Manchester hit out and them change, then it would appear now a bias towards Manchester, because it never adjusted before in the middle. And it's not only schoolboy football where a home team gets a knockout game at their home ground. And to explain what I mean, the Champions League finals, many years, is awarded to venues that teams that would potentially make the finals play their games there. So of course now, if they award the Champions League final to San Siro or the Emirates Stadium, And nobody says anything. Nobody has a problem. They're fine with the hosting of the Champions League at Emirates Stadium for 2026. If Arsenal gets to the final in 2026, you can't come now and hit out and say it bias towards Arsenal for whatever reason, because you agreed before. And they can't change it in the middle. They could not change it again. It was already set. And it was agreed upon. So it can't be changed in the middle. And you can't say bias towards him. And when you saw it and agreed to it, basic intelligent people could understand that. Basic intelligence, with a basic level of intelligence, you must understand that. Say the principle of Manchester is the one that wants favoritism. What's so special about you where you can come talk in the middle to get it change? It gone on saying both teams advance, but we just try to lift the levels of my Jamaican thinking and reasoning. When they set it, they're not being biased towards Issa. They try to put the games at the best venues to get good football and all of that. There are few and far between in Jamaica for schoolboy football level. No, but as I said before, no, it could be seen as unfair for real. But you object from before. If you disagree, once you accept the rule, you saw it, you cannot object in the middle. You have already agreed that you want things to be done in favor of you. Not simple, basic people. These, though, are merely my views, and now as always, what say you?